was
Yeah,
terrible.
just a bad football game. You
Yeah.
almost went out to L.A. and you're in La La Land and all types of great things are happening out there and everything's fancy and the sun's out and you leave dreary Chicago and you go over there and you just absolutely you piddle one away. That's what you did. I didn't expect them to go and win this week anyway. You looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year. Hey, the Bears going out to play the Chargers. You didn't expect it, but you expected to see. You build on something that you did last week, and you built upon nothing you did. Guys that played well. Darnell Wright, Tevin Jenkins. Cole Kmet had a lot of receptions, but I guess you became Bajan's favorite target today. So let's just say he had a bunch of receptions. Defensively, you just took it. That's what you did. You just took it. You absorbed it and you took it. Like Joe Palooka, the fighter. Like a guy that's in there fighting Muhammad Ali, and you're just in there to cash a check, and you're there to get punched in the face for 15 rounds and hoping you can find a way to survive. That's the Bears' word today. They just kept taking shot after shot after shot after shot, hoping that at some point they could survive. And they didn't. They lost 2-6. You're not quite halfway there. Halfway next week is going to be, a little bit over the top. Halfway there. You bring no joy. You bring no anything to the fans of Chicago. Nothing. And the Tyler Bagent story, secret Bagent man, as my son told me, double Bagent man. That's what you got. That's what you got today. Double Bagent man. The guy that looked like he was on your team, looked like he was on your side, but may not exactly be what everybody thinks he is. So
Tyson Bagent, 25 of 37 to finish the game with 232 yards passing, finishes with 2 interceptions, a sack, and a quarterback rating, a passer rating of 62. Justin Herbert, he earned his money tonight. 31 of 40. At one point, he was perfect in the first half in double-digit pass attempts. 298 yards passing today, 3 touchdowns, no sacks, 122.7 rating for him. His average per pass was 7.5 yards, but there were times when it looked like he could do what he wanted.
Oh, absolutely.
A very soft defense that they were
Yeah.
playing against him. Now, we have to point out, though, they were without their starting safeties. Even though Eddie Jackson was active, we found out in the pregame show that he would only be used as insurance.
Yeah.
And they were without Jaquan Brisker. And at one point, they were without one of their cornerbacks, Stevenson, as well, who went down. But I believe he returned.
Well, they've been without all those guys this year anyway at some point or another.
Right.
These guys have all been injured, so these young guys have been, they've had to come in and they've had to find a way to survive. The calls in the first half were so conservative. You drop guys so far back.
Mm-hmm.
All they did was kind of keep a guy in the block, and then when they couldn't find anybody downfield because you had coverage downfield because everybody was 15 yards downfield, you just gave the ball to your running back or your tight end that was blocking who released late, and he got 10, 12 yards.
Right. Without being touched.
Yeah, without being touched. You were so conservative, and you played it so close to the vest, and you covered everything downfield, but you covered nothing underneath. So
I don't know what the second half stats were, but in the first half, Courtney Cronin had figured it out that the Bears gave up 169 yards after the catch in the first half alone.
TJ Edwards, he's a local product too, by the way. TJ Edwards, the former Eagle, the current Bear, came unblocked on the screen pass that I believe went for the touchdown, right?
Yes.
Unblocked. His jock is still on the field somewhere in that stadium because he got faked out of it, standing there, whiffed, went by. Olay goes the native of Mexico. And there went Eckler. And where did he go? Into the end zone. And what was TJ Edmonds doing? Nothing. There with a handful of nothing. So he may have had the most tackles today. He may have jumped on a fumble. Congratulations. But as far as making any impact plays whatsoever, falling on a fumble is not an impact play. Somebody did the hard work. The ball just squirted out to you, and you flopped down on it. Flopping down on a football is not a skill. Okay? So he may have had the most tackles, but he did not play a stellar game. 49 did not play a stellar game. When you invest money in your linebackers, before you invest money in your defensive line, you make a mistake. You make a mistake. So Ryan Poles investing money in the defensive line and not in the linebacker group and not in the defensive line is the wrong way to build a football team, period. That's it. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. You ask Urlacher and you ask Briggs, when were they playing their best football? When they had Ted Washington and Keith Traylor in front of them.
Right.
Those guys were monsters up front. Their lives were a whole lot easier back there. So you did what you did. You did it wrong either way. And then the other guy you keep for the love of everything holy. I don't understand why he's still on the team. You drafted a grandfather a couple of years ago.
Oh, Velus
I
Jones
feel like
Jr.
he's a grandfather. 26, what was he? 29, 45? I don't know what he was.
25.
25-year-old Velus Jones Jr. Okay, when they say the moment is too big for you, when you hear those immortal words out of somebody, the moment is too big for you. The ball was underthrown. I'm going to give you the ball's underthrown.
The touchdown.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't a touchdown. It should have been a touchdown.
The would-be touchdown.
Yeah, the would-be touchdown.
One of three would-be touchdowns.
Not a touchdown. When they say the words, the moment is too big for you, that is for Velus Jones Jr. Why he is still on this roster, I have no idea. Ryan Poles, for the idiocy that happened with Chase Claypool, at least there was a science to it. All right, hey, this guy had a year. He did something special at the NFL level. Maybe we go and we get a weapon. We add a weapon. We got a year next year. We find out what complete failure. But at what point do you know that Velus Jones Jr. now just can't play? Can't play. Was it the penalty where he ran into the punt returner for the other team? Was it the many fumbles he had last year? Was it when he's sitting wide open in the end zone and he can't level himself off? He can't, with balance, maintain his feet when the ball is going to drop into his boiler? When do you realize that the moments, multiple moments, over the course of multiple games, that it is just too big for him and he is not an NFL player? When do you realize that? But I digress. There's bigger problems on this team, but I think 76 and 58, they played well. And Lucas Patrick, if Lucas Patrick is the answer at center, you don't know what the questions are. Lucas Patrick is horrific. He's horrid. He was signed specifically to pacify the offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, to bring in a former Green Bay guy that he was comfortable with, who he thought could play center. He is terrible. That's why your offensive coordinator is not a talent evaluator. What your offensive coordinator is a guy that calls plays and coordinates the offense. He doesn't evaluate talent. You don't let people have what they want just because they think, oh, he's such a good guy. We don't want good guys. I want bad guys on my team. I want mean guys on my team. It's horrific. You could go through this whole roster and it'll make you cringe. It'll make your soul cringe. It'll make your heart not go pitter-patter for the good things that could happen in the world. No, that's not what it's going to do. It's going to, like, your Ford Chambers want to shut down watching the Bears play and watch some of these players out there. Your heart wants to shut down out of sadness and grief because this is the crap they do every time they travel, every time they play in a big national spotlight game. What do? Right down their pant leg. They piddle down it. I swear to the heavens, it's awful. It's nonstop. It's incessant. And they could tell me they could change everything over there. And I guess what? It's going to be the same crap. Wait, we got a Thursday night game again coming up? How? How can't we be flexed out of that? We got a Monday night game later in the year? Tell me, for the love of everything holy, that we can't get these games changed. Let's go back to noon on Sunday. That way my misery is over at 5 o'clock, and I can go home and try to brighten my mood for the rest of the day into Monday and start the week out right. This is terrible. Terrible. It's awful. You can't watch this crap over and over and then tell me that there's something positive. I saw some good signs. Who saw good signs? 312-332-3776. For the idiot that's out there, it's going to tell me you saw good signs. Sorry, Peggy. I had to go.